Here's how you destroy your life. You wake up only when you want to wake up. You surround yourself with people who you know technically are bad influence in your life, but those are the people who you've known for years. And you can't let go of that friendship. You can't let go of that bond. So you constantly hold on to them, even though every time they speak negatively on not just their lives, but on your life as well. And then that fuels you into this constant negativity destroying loop where you always are thinking about negative things. It makes it difficult for you to achieve your goals because you're constantly afraid that you're going to fail. So you avoid risks. You avoid taking a chance on yourself. You avoid investing in yourself. You avoid learning because you feel as if you're not good enough. You feel as if you're not worth it. You feel as if you have no actual talents because the people around you are saying that you don't. And because of this, you are constantly talking badly about yourself and you're constantly in the same position you were. You're constantly broke, you're constantly tired, you're constantly frustrated with life, you're constantly in this perpetual moment of self-destruction because of all these things that have just been piling up bit by bit by bit. Now you might be wondering, what exactly are these things? And these things simply are habits. 7 bad habits that are literally destroying you and your future. Because we all want a future where at least we're financially free, right? A future where we don't always have to worry about money. A future where we're happier. A future where we're not constantly in this bondage because we've been set free. A future where we are not worried about tomorrow, but more like we live in the present. But hey, please keep watching and we'll dive into this more. If you're new to this channel, my name is Vanessa. Welcome. Please like, please subscribe so that you're always notified whenever a new video comes out. So what exactly are these 7 bad habits? Well, the first one is procrastination. We all do it, right? We all procrastinate because procrastination makes us feel good. But here's the thing though that we don't realize. There's literally a battle happening in our mind between the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system. The prefrontal cortex is slower and weaker than the limbic system. The limbic system operates on emotions and impulses, whereas the prefrontal cortex is the planning and logical side of our brain. Now, what happens is when we rely on our emotions, our limbic system literally goes red. It starts blinking, right? Like car lights at night. Now, what happens with that? It suppresses our prefrontal cortex, the logical part. So when you procrastinate, every time you procrastinate, you're basically telling yourself that your emotions are a lot stronger than the planning and the logical side of your brain. Now, how you deal with this is you don't procrastinate. Now, I'm not saying that never procrastinate because we're going to have those days where you're not going to feel like it. They're going to be those days when you're sick. They're going to be those days when you're not up to par. It all comes down to the person. You know who you are. But what I'm saying is if 90% of the time you don't procrastinate, then you're going to achieve a lot more than you thought you would if you procrastinate 99% of the time. Okay, now the second one is all to do with negative self-talk and self-doubt. The thing is, what happens is when you tell yourself that something's not important, then you're telling yourself that you're not important, that your goals are not important, that your dreams are not important, that basically your future is not important, and it's this constant cycle, this constant loop that is difficult to get out of. That's where negative self-talk comes from. But another thing is with negative self-talk, it's also to do with what people told you years ago. If someone said you were lazy, 9 out of 10 times you're going to remember that. If someone says that you are a beautiful, independent individual, 1 out of 10 times you're going to remember that. Why? Because of how our brains operate, we tend to focus more on the negatives than the positives. So how do you exactly deal with this? Simply put, every time you hear a negative thought or when you doubt yourself, say, no, I can do this. It depends on how you want to strategize it, but you can say, I can do this. I am capable. I am able. I'm intelligent. I'm educated. I'm independent. I am beautiful. I am courageous. I am confident. And the more you tell yourself, then the more you believe it. All comes down to your belief system. What exactly do you believe? Do you believe that you are all the things that people told you are? Or do you believe that you're capable of so much more in your life? Third thing is, a lot of us don't plan. When I was in high school, my teacher used to say, if you fail to plan, plan to fail. As a high school student, I used to find this annoying because I'm like, what does that even mean? But then now that I'm an adult, I realize the importance of planning. Goal setting and planning it sets you up for success. Now, what I mean by this is understanding where you want to go. What are your dreams? How are you going to get there? Are you going to start a business online? If that's so, what kind of business? How is it going to look like? What are you going to promote your business on? Are you going to use social media to promote your business? Are you going to use TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest? I can go on and on. It's so important for you to have a goal setting plan in motion so that you can actually achieve your goals in not only a faster way, but also so that you don't get burnt out because you're trying to rush to get to the end of your journey without learning the actual things that you need to learn along the way. Now, this goes into the next point, which is the continuous learning part. Now, there is a difference, right, between growth and fixed mindset. Fixed mindset says, I don't need to change. I'm perfect the way I am. I'm a 10 out of 10. I am great. I am awesome to yourself, or singing that tune in your life that you do not need any help whatsoever. That's a fixed mindset, right? Of course, the growth mindset says, I need to constantly learn. I need to constantly improve. I need to constantly go ahead. I need to constantly change the way I think. I need to constantly learn. I need to constantly develop. I need to constantly figure out how to improve my life. And that actually helps you go further a lot faster than everyone else. Now, another thing that a lot of us struggle with is the fear of failing and avoiding risks. You see, when you lack the persistence or the resilience to actually go for your dreams because you're afraid of failing, what happens is you always are going to be afraid. Now, I'll take, for example, something small. When I was a kid, my biggest dream was publishing a fiction book. That was my dream when I was 13, 14, 15, 17, going up there. And what happened is, because I was so afraid to publish the book and for people to not like it, for people not to, appreciate, for people to say I'm a hack, all the names that you think about whenever you're going to do something that's a little scary. What happened was I was afraid of everything else. I was afraid to drive. I was afraid to, perform at on a stage. I was afraid to do all these things. I was afraid to, graduate from university because I didn't know what life was going to be like after university. Fear has a way of building on top of each other. One fear, as small as it is, can lead to a bigger fear and eventually goes up and up until you start being in this loop of avoiding risks because you do not want to fail. And that, my dear friends, will constantly push you down and stop you from actually going further in your life, because fear doesn't actually move the needle forward, it pushes it back. Yeah, so, I literally went through all of this on a quick, just like a little quick, video, so that you got the point about these habits. These habits are extremely dangerous because they can prevent you from actually going forward in your life. They can prevent you from actually learning and growing and building, and can stop you from becoming successful. But I missed one last one, and this one is pivotal and literally ties everything together. Poor time management. If you do not understand how to manage your time, then you're always going to be working more and making less. What I mean by this is you're going to be working harder than you are actually making the money. So there are people who are busy, right? They constantly busy. But when they actually look back, they realize that they were busy but not productive. There is a difference, though, between being busy and productive. Productivity actually helps you go forward. Being busy actually stops you from actually being productive. So it's an easy thing to learn. Well, I wouldn't say it's an easy thing to learn. It's a hard thing to learn because a lot of us struggle with time management. But it's an important thing to learn. All these are important things to learn. These habits are the building block of success. These habits, right, will prevent you from becoming successful in the future. They'll prevent you from actually reaching your goals. That's why it's important for you to understand the building block habits that are going to help you become successful in life and with whatever you want to do. So take this, right? Learn this. Look at your life and realize, are these habits destroying your life? Because you'd be amazed, right? You'd be amazed to discover that you are doing things that are stopping you from actually progressing and achieving the success you've always wanted. All right, thank you so much. Please like, please subscribe so that you're always notified whenever a new video comes out. All right, bye.